In the 14th century, the Waiko pirates, who were largely from Japan initially, started attacking Korea, especially here in Busan. So, in 1419, the Koreans, and this is a couple of years before Admiral Lee revolutionized the Korean Navy, sent a fleet to destroy these pirates at their base in Tsushima Island, which lies halfway between here and Japan. But it did very little to end the piracy in Asia. This is because the pirates were also attacking China, who was under the Yuan dynasty, and they were crumbling, so they could do very little to stop the pirates making a great deal of money and establishing bases along the coast. Then when the Ming dynasty came back, a couple hundred samurai, or at least ronins, who were pirates, tried to assassinate the new Ming emperor by placing gunpowder in wax candles. In response, the Ming emperor banned trade with China, but this just made piracy even more lucrative. Plus, as Japan slid into civil war, even more and more people turned to piracy. So, although in the late 15th and early 16th century there were very few recorded attacks in China, between 1550 and 1560 there was over 400. Then they started attacking Korea once again. But this is where a lot of controversy remains over what nationality these pirates were, because all nations adopted an isolationist policy, so people from all nations began to join the pirates, but it's disputed as to which nation, Japan, Korea or China, made up the most percentage of these pirates. Either way, these pirates often controlled the largest fleets in the sea, and their numbers were sometimes bolstered by the occasional European, but their attacks were so damaging to China that it forced them to change their trade policy. For instance, although they still banned trade with Japan, it was instrumental in forcing them to open up trade with Portugal and allow them to take Macau, and the Ryukyu Islands in the south of Japan became very wealthy at the time. But one thing that's interesting is who these pirates' foes were. So I've already mentioned they had to fight the Joseon Navy, but they also fought Spanish conquistadors, for instance, off the coast of the Philippines. They fought the Mongols as part of the Yuan dynasty. They fought samurai, and they also fought, well, according to one chronicler in 1550, Shaolin monks who were sent to go kick the pirates out of their base in Wangjiagang. Piracy in Asia would eventually change over time. The Chinese would become some of the largest pirates in the sea. And it's important to note that piracy in Asia does long predate the Waiko pirates. For instance, around the 9th or 10th century there was Fujiwara no Sumitomo, and he was a famous pirate who, according to legend, although it's probably not true, tried to divide Japan between himself and a rebellious samurai.